Wait, what? What? News on stream? What? And his opponent in the top right-hand side in the blue, representing Zerg and Canada and Bravestar Gaming. It is, of course, Scarlett.
The Queen of Blades herself. I love watching Scarlett play, but God, does she do some weird stuff. Yesterday we saw her do 2-base Hydralisk push. It was very odd, except she never pushed. She just took her third about 3 minutes late. Super strange gameplay, but ZVZ a matchup where you can't really afford to play weird, and Namshar that kind of player where you cannot afford to make mistakes because he will punish.
You know, it's an interesting observation that Scarlett is playing very weird, because there are only 2 players, really, who spend a majority of their time on one server, and then when it comes time to compete, they go to a completely different server to play players that they don't really play every day. Of course, I'm talking about Special and Scarlett, the 2 foreign players living most of the time in Korea to compete in the GSL. So Scarlett, not just head and shoulders above almost all the competition in North America, but also practicing against very different styles. And she's built a lot of these very unique, specific builds to do very well in Korea. And some of them have translated to America. But hey, she's had 3 losses in this tournament already, 3 map losses anyway in this tournament already. And that means that at least part of her style isn't translating as well as she had hoped.
Yeah, she has been playing a lot of Brood War, and we can't understate the fact that she's also competed in like the ASL qualifiers. So competing in multiple titles, or at least attempting to, is incredibly brave. Usually one will slip, but Scarlett is still at that level, especially compared to, oh god, I don't want to say this, I'm going to get shouted at, compared to maybe the rest of the scene, where she's just so good. She can turn up without too much practice and have an incredible show. Of course, she's not quite as good as M Canning, but she's working on it. We all got to learn somehow.
You just got to slip it in every game, don't you, Grant?
Every single game.
Oh, we can see the players with identical build orders so far. 25 drones, 6 army supply on the map right now. Finally, a couple extra drones on the way from Scarlett to catch up, and there it is, 27 drones each. No differences at all. Those third base timings almost identical. Namshar's Baneling Nest is down, and I'm sure Scarlett's is not too far behind, depending on what her gas count actually a little bit high. Yeah, there it is. So her Baneling Nest is going to come down, thank goodness. Just a tad behind, but her third base was a little ahead, so really small changes here and there, but it looks like these players both going for a bit of a longer game.
Yeah, we're seeing slightly different paths to the same destination, right? Finally, a few lings going to be added on, and the first signs of aggression should come on towards either player's third base. Namshar's going to lose an Overlord here, which is going to supply block the Swede. And that's frustrating. He has to now remake that extra Overlord just because he did overextend slightly with it. Scarlett being aggressive with her creep spread. We can see Namshar's creep spread actually only just starting. So Namshar probably went for an earlier inject, whereas Scarlett went for that creep tumor nice and early. Again, it's very slight variations of the game. We do see an Evo chamber going down here from Namshar. Before that of Scarlett, and Scarlett adding hers on. We're just doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, a little Baneling dance here happening, but I don't think we're going to see any huge differences right now. Again, more rounds of drones going down. The question now is going to be, what can each player infer about what the other player is up to? Right now, there's no really good scouting. Oh, Namshar slipped some lings into the main base here of Scarlett. That's a really nice scout from 2 lings going all the way into the main. Going to see that there's still only 3 gases taken from Scarlett, and that is huge information. 3 gases from Scarlett, Namshar on 0, and as soon as Namshar sees those gases, we see 2 more gases coming down right away from Namshar. Make it 3 more gases coming down right away from Namshar, who's going up to that 4 gas count to try and power up onto Roaches. No Lair Tech yet, though, and Scarlett might have speed slightly before Namshar does.
Namshar was banking a lot of money for a while. He's now thrown some lings in, a few overlords in, but he was up to like 700 minerals as he was getting that scout done, focusing, I guess, more on the information than his macro behind it. No lair yet for Namshar is slightly disconcerting. Scarlett's already 2/3 of the way done. And if Namshar doesn't have that on too soon, okay, there we go. The Scarlett's reach speed can potentially be a threat. We have seen it in other series. For now, though, we're just seeing a fight down the north and southern ridges here of Ice and Chrome, and the game is still very close. But we're in the calm before the storm, right? We're in the eye of the storm. Things are going to get crazy pretty soon.
They are. Scarlett also managed to slip in some lings to Namshar's main base there, so she also has a pretty good idea what's going on right now. Still has not seen that extra gas being taken, so both players have a really good bead on what they're up to. But as you said, the big difference right now is that Scarlett has that lair tech down. Of course, Scarlett going for +1 missile attacks, and I almost called him Neeb. Namshar going for +1 carapace, which means those upgrades are going to cancel each other out. But speed and the lair tech are going to be the huge differences right now, and Namshar's going to spot this lair tech, and I wonder if he's a little bit concerned right now that the longer the game goes on, he's going to be in a little bit of trouble because he won't have speed for those roaches. Ravager's on the way from Namshar, though, and he's going to make up for it with a bulkier army than Scarlett has, and he's going to go ahead and push here on the SC2 army supply.
Namshar cancelled his lair. He was going for lair. Like, I'm definitely not tripping, right? He was definitely going for it. I said there it goes. Yeah, he was. He's just going. He's just going to go all in at this point. He nearly biles himself. He does a lot of Ravagers here. Ravagers, of course, slightly more susceptible to those Bane hits, and they do get some good connections. Then wrapping around the back here. This isn't a great angle for Namshar right now. He's down in supply. Scarlett also has defender's advantage and a ton of roaches across the way. So much of Namshar's supply right now is trickling in 1 or 2 at a time, and it just doesn't look like it will be enough to break Scarlett right now with a couple of spines as well. I think Scarlett's in a great position, and Namshar regretting cancelling that lair.
Yeah, those Baneling shots from Scarlett were absolutely insanely good. I can't overstate how much of a mistake that was from Namshar to not only see the slow Banelings waddling forward toward him and then not splitting, not getting out of the way, and allowing him to hit the core of his Ravagers in the middle. That was the big difference that Namshar had against the big advantage that Namshar had was that he had more Ravagers than Scarlett, who Scarlett, by the way, still sitting on 0 Ravagers. She don't give a heck about Ravagers right now. But Namshar did lose a huge core of them, and now Scarlett, army supply advantage, income advantage, base advantage, and Namshar's in a lot of trouble, Grant.
Yeah, the lair definitely was cancelled. I just watched the 2-minute delayed live version that you guys are seeing, and it was in fact cancelled. So Namshar thought he could take a fight. He has managed to push Scarlett back, which is quite impressive. But Scarlett behind this is getting a lot of roaches. She's getting +2. So we'll have an upgrade advantage. Oh, actually, yeah, it will end up with a slight upgrade advantage, but it doesn't matter. Scarlett takes map 1.
Scarlett does in fact take map number 1. Well played by her, so that'll move her up to an 8-3 map score, which actually is as many wins as M. Canning has in this event. Do you have any thoughts on that, Grant?
Yeah, his wins count for 2 wins each.
Well, Scarlett grabs game 1, a little back and forth. I am going to say I think that Baneling shot by Scarlett was the catalyst. Yeah. For the end of the game there, simply just destroying the main core of Ravagers from Namshar's army. So Scarlett taking a good fight there, Namshar taking a bad fight, and that's sometimes that's all ZVZ comes down to, Grant. It's one of those matches that is just so volatile, so quick, that one bad Baneling shot can end a man's whole career, and now Namshar is staring down the barrel of a 2-3 match score here in Group A, which means he's going to have to fight like hell to get on out.
Yeah, we will be moving on to Everdream now. I still think Namshar the kind of player who's very used to these situations. Namshar first started competing in 2013, maybe? I'm going to take a look.
2004, I'm sure.
Yeah, most likely. So his first DreamHack was 2014, so he's been around forever. Just an absolute legend in the scene. Only 27 years old, not too old. He's wow. Younger than me. Holy shit, I'm so old. But we are loading into Everdream here to see if Namshar, Storm Gaming's newest pickup, can pick up his second map against Scarlett, or pick up his first map against Scarlett, who is looking for a second map and a series victory. Creighton, let's have some fun.
Let's do it. Spawning in the top right-hand side in the red, representing Sweden, but currently, I believe, residing in Canada. It is our red Zerg player with a clan tag or a team tag that I'm not sure we're allowed to say out loud. Of course, Namshar.
Yeah, of course, we are not the ones to make these announcements. You guys can see what you see, but his opponent in the bottom left representing Bravestar Gaming and Canada, she is the Queen of Blades, the blue Zerg player. It's Scarlett, and she's being cheeky.
Oh, she is. Gonna go for that. Was it a 12 pool, Grant?
I wasn't looking, but yeah.
It absolutely was. A 12 pool for Scarlett right now, and Namshar is not going to scout it. There's no drone scout coming across. The Overlord's going to amble their way across the map, but Scarlett is terrifying with that 12 pool, and Namshar, as you're showing us, Grant, going very standard hatch, gas, pool, and Scarlett sending a drone up north? Is she going to proxy a hatchery, Grant? Or no, she's just going to go for one One spine crawler?
No. No. She's checking the overlords. That's what she's doing. She's checking where the overlords are. So this drone, of course, will come with, but we should see the rest of the drones pulled. Yes, she was checking the overlord pathing. That's so sick. Oh my god, is she just going to now ignore what she just did? That's crazy.
I don't think she cared. I don't think she cares, Grant. She's like, whatever, I'm done with this. And yet, Namshar actually canceling at the last minute. They're really nice cancel.
He's going for the full block.
He's setting up the wall. He's going for the wall.
Yeah, so Scarlett, maybe knowing that this is how Namshar reacts, this is why she may have sent the drone. Doing a great job, but the wall is... Namshar didn't like it. He didn't like his positioning. It's complete. Yes, it is now complete. Oh, I don't know.
Is it? There's a gap, isn't there? Oh, no, it is complete.
No.
Oh, my gosh. It's so hard to tell. Nice hatchery block there, and this is going to buy Namshar tons of time. Unfortunately, it also costs him a lot of money. He's got one spine coming out, but that's going to buy... yeah, there we go. Finally goes down, canceled, and now Scarlett can get in.
Yeah, of course, the Lings have the advantage here. The spine crawler going down for Scarlett, and the second one following up. Another fight going down. We'll take a look at the units tab. There are 16 Lings for Scarlett, 15, 14. The drone count for Namshar dropping, both now only on 9. Spine's getting closer for both of these players. Scarlett really needs both of her spines to get up. And actually, it looks like both may be cancelled. A few more Lings going to reinforce here, but the spine crawler for Namshar is in a much better position. It's going to be able to cancel the spine of Scarlett. And with this spine now up, Namshar holds.
Yeah, he does, but he lost 11 drones. So the drone count, weirdly, in favor of Scarlett. Yeah. She's sending those drones home, and this is going to be one of those very, very weird games, Grant, that started with a 12 pool all in, but Scarlett did barely enough damage so that she can sustain and pull back out of it like a pilot who's lost both engines but can somehow try to glide to safety.
Yeah, Namshar has been mining more despite the fact that he has less drones, because of course 4 or 5 of those drones were across the map this entire time. Now, Scarlett does have a couple more Lings, I believe. She has 1 more Ling, and that's oh so vital. Every hit point on every Ling right now is so important. Now, Namshar can just fall back to his spine, and that long neck boy will be able to get a lot of damage here onto the Lings. Scarlett cannot commit to any damage here. I believe she's probably just going to drone up and look to expand now. But Namshar has tech. He has the spine to defend. He was been mining more for most of the game. Only now, is Scarlett taking over, and it's looking pretty rough.
Yeah, Namshar's going to go ahead and expand. Scarlett has that queen out, though, instead. Should be looking for a natural of her own quite soon. But now that Namshar is going to expand, that means that Scarlett now has an additional path of attack, and Namshar has more space to defend. I'm really curious what Scarlett's doing here. There's still no expand from her. She's making overlords. She's making drones. It looks like she wants to keep this pressure on, but Namshar not droning nearly as quick as Scarlett does. She's seen the natural now with the overlord, and she must know that she has to get her own down.
Yeah, I certainly think so. It's a little bit difficult. I think the queen was probably necessary to ensure that an expansion can go down, because the Ling count, like, it was so close, but both of them also slightly beaten up. You never know how that fight's going to go. It would have been very dependent, because both of them... Now Namshar actually has a couple more Lings. I still like Namsar's position more, to be honest. He's still down a couple of drones, but of course he'll be able to make more than his opponent. Scarlett really wants to expand. You can see the drone on the ramp right now. But Namsar's just posturing so threateningly, buying himself so much time. His natural is 2/3 of the way done, maybe even further. And, okay, Scarlett finally gets her expansion down. Namshar fully aware of it.
Yeah, Namshar's going to spot it here. The drone count getting closer and closer together. If you look at the income advantage, you'll see it's barely in Scarlett's favor. And, oh, man. This is going to be so strange here. I'm not sure why Scarlett waited so long on that natural, but she is getting another queen as well. And, you know, Grant, I don't know the exact math here, but I feel like one hatchery with a queen is just as good as 2 hatcheries with no queen as far as larva production goes. And now that Scarlett's natural's coming down with a second queen getting added on, I think she's going to be in a hugely advantageous position, considering there's only 1 queen on the way for Namshar. And he's going all the way back home. The pressure's off now. I think Scarlett's in a great spot this game.
Yeah, I think she's okay. Namshar still does, yeah, as we said, he has 1 queen and only 1, but Namshar's going to have speed very, very soon. Scarlett, of course, hasn't even started that. She's not mined much gas at all, only now getting closer to 100, and speed is a very, very important tool. Now, Namshar can't tell when Scarlett's getting speed. He's not aware of this. He is going to move out with speed, I imagine, or is he just going to take a third? Is he really going to drop another spine? Because you don't need that, Namshar.
No, I don't know what that's all about. Man. So Linkspeed going to finish for Namshar a little bit earlier. That's really nice. And Banelings, yeah. Grant, I would not have called that this was going to be a Ling Bane match at 7 minutes when I saw Scarlett 12 pooling.
Yeah, yeah, sometimes these games do just equalize into a standard position. Now we can see speed has finished here for Namshar. Scarlett does not have speed. On creep, it is still okay for Scarlett to try and take some fights, but Namshar has control of the map and can take his third, whereas Scarlett's not going to be able to do so for at least 30 seconds. And we can see Namshar's is now going down. Namshar he's produced any more queens. Okay, he did produce a second. Probably needs at least one more pretty soon here in order to feel comfortable, but he's now droning up like heavily. Scarlett has still that slight economic lead. You can see here she is mining just a little bit more minerals. It's really not too much now, only 2 workers. But Namshar is doing a good job of keeping her honest. Now, she did manage to sneak down that third, but Namshar has Banelings here.
Yeah, that's almost certainly going to be forced to be canceled there. Scarlett just catching a bit of a wave there with no Banelings of her own. Namshar able to zone her out because, of course, engaging with no Banelings into Banelings is just almost a death blow. Wow, +1 missile attack on the way here for Namshar. Looks like we're going to see a Roach Warren down pretty quick, and this game might go straight into Roach Ravager, but Namshar slowing down Scarlett's third even more is hugely advantageous, and look at how many units he is forced out for Scarlett. Scarlett now on 4 Banelings, but 31 Lings. Scarlett needs to be more aggressive, and I think she realizes that, man, she's going to push across.
Yeah, Scarlett needs to get some Baneling hits here. She can win the game with this push, certainly, because she is up quite heavily. She's 24 Lings right now, and Namshar is unable to produce that many Lings. Does he have lava? He has a lot of lava. He's not supply blocked. He has money. Namshar, will he make some He's making 9 drones!
Wow, now that's a bold choice from Namshar. I'm not sure if that's the right choice at all, because Scarlett is going to come in here. It's going to take some massive Baneling hits from Namshar here. Nice movement by Namshar to try and block off Scarlett in the backside. Scarlett's going to try and diss out of here. Oh man, Scarlett does dodge all those Baneling hits. The Baneling's now intermingling there. Scarlett pretty happy to trade there. 8 drones going down immediately for Namshar. That puts Scarlett in a beautiful position with her third base going up. She's even on workers in her lair tech, about halfway done. Namshar slightly ahead as this is +1, but Scarlett really has a chance to go for the third base here. I'm surprised she's not pressing a little harder.
Yeah, I think she probably feels like she did enough damage there. 8 workers have gone down. She's now killed 19 in total this game, and that's a very large amount. But Namshar is up in workers still, despite this, and producing more and more, going up into the 60s now. Scarlett is now back here to punish a little bit more. Banelings are done. There's no Baneling speed, which is crazy, because Lair's been done for a while, and he just never started it off. It would be such an important tool. Oh god, these Banelings. Namshar really cannot afford to be losing many war workers here. Oh,
luckily he won't. Only 3 going down, but a really nice. What's so key at the end there was those Baneling shots that all went down, and now Scarlett has a huge Baneling advantage. 7 Banelings to 0 for Scarlett right now, and that's going to give her complete control of this entire base. Her Banelings don't have a really good target to go off of there. Unfortunately, the Spine Crawler is going to be able to drive some of that back. Scarlett takes out 6 drones, but that's not quite enough. The good news is she's still way ahead of Namshar now, 57 to 51. Her third base is up, and her Spire is a little bit quicker, but look at that Namshar with the counter Hydralisk Den already down. My god, Grant, this is a good game.
Yeah, this is just into a relatively normal Ling Bane into tech game. It's absolutely crazy that this game did start with a 12-pool drone pool. Not many 12-pool games go this far. They're usually defended or not, but this one's sort of ambiguous in how much damage was done. Scarlett sent a few of her drones home after that push. Namshar now trying to get a counter attack. Still no Baneling speed, which is crazy. It would be such a useful piece of tech for him in order to have, but he's just not going for it. He is starting his +2. And of course, he is going into Hydras, which are going to have those upgrade advantages that Scarlett's Mutalist will not have. Now, Namshar, does he know about the Mutas? Yes, he's just seen it as I was speaking. He should throw down spores relatively shortly. He'll feel pretty confident in the fact that he has some Hydras coming out. Namshar with a great read there. Just needs to handle it correctly and he'll be in an okay spot.
Exactly. The Hydralisks are going to pay off in spades for him if Scarlett invests really heavily, but she has not really invested that heavily. Just look at that 9 Overlords finishing up. Scarlett going full E-Laser on us here. As Namshar puts pressure there on the 4th base of Scarlett. Scarlett actually going to save that 4th base, but only just. That's great pressure from Namshar, and that's the kind of pressure he needs to continue putting on here. Now, this is really interesting because Namshar is investing very heavily into his Hydralisk technology. If he doesn't build a lot of Hydras, that's going to be a lot of wasted money. Whereas Scarlett staying on Ling Bane and not overcommitting to the Spire that she's built earlier, I honestly kind of like Scarlett's position right now as she is double expanding, and Namshar only grabbing 1 expand here. If Scarlett can win this game on the back of her economy, or if she can take it a superior economy to Namshar, she's going to have an amazing time.
Yeah, she's going to have to hold a pretty hefty push from Namshar. That is going to have Roaches, it is going to have Ravagers, and it is going to have some quite well upgraded Hydralisks with Groove Spines that are already on the way. Oh, Namshar, you cheeky boy. Namshar looking for an Overlord drop here, a Baneling drop, some of those mines drop from the sky that can be so deadly to a Zerg's mineral line. If he can get into this mineral line, that's like 16 drones he could kill almost immediately with those 4 Banelings. He doesn't have Baneling speed though. He's going into Lurker Seal. Not having Baneling speed, I keep saying this, I think it's an oversight from Namshar. I think it's so important. Like against this many Lings, Scarlett has 20 plus Lings, okay, now making a load of Banelings, but not having any Banelings of his own is a little, not having any speed Banelings of his own is a little sketchy. If he gets Lurkers, then fair enough, but the game still on a knife's edge at the moment.
Yeah, that's what he's going for. We see the one Overlord in the main base. That's an Overseer just scouting around with those Railings going down at the 3 o'clock base, or the 9 o'clock base of Scarlett right now, rather. Roach drop in the main from Scarlett with those Banelings coming down at the 9 o'clock. It looks like Scarlett is able to pull away. Not going to get any damage done there.
They've not dropped.
Oh, Scarlett pulling away, but here we go. The Banelings. Oh, they're going to drop so quick. Nice target firing there by the Roaches. Only 6 drones going to go down. That's going to even the odds. But Scarlett's still doing a pretty decent job. Remember, she is 1 base ahead right now of Namshar. But Namshar, technologically, way ahead. Hydralisks, Lurkers, Hydra Speed, and look at the upgrades right now. +2 finishing up for Scarlett, but that +1 Carapace is so clutch from Namshar.
She hasn't made a single Mutalisk. That's a big investment into tank that she's never gone for. Now we do have 28 speed Banelings with no upgrade from Scarlett, right? Yeah, just Carapace that Namshar has here in terms of the Baneling upgrades. Now rolling in, and they can be so deadly if they can get on top of the Hydras. This damage from Scarlett is absolutely humongous, but Lurkers are in play. One of them actually not burrowed in the back here. If the Lurkers can get in and get the damage, this could be very, very good. Baneling's manually detonating. It looks like Scarlett's going to be able to push through here. She cancels some of these Lurkers. Scarlett does not have an Overseer here, though, so she will have to back off from the Lurkers from the high ground. She's going to snipe a base on the way, Creighton.
Yeah, she is, and the Overseer are finally going to pop up, and that does mean that Scarlett will be driven away, but the Banelings can get some big shots of the drones here. Oh my god, the splitting from Namshar is beautiful there. That could have been so much worse for our Swedish Zerg player, and the last Baneling fecklessly detonating on 3 there, but the problem is that as Scarlett sniped that base at the end, that puts her no longer 1 base ahead, but now 2 bases ahead. Grant, the Overseer, of course, has Overseer speed, which means they're very zippy and can get on top of all those Lurkers. Scarlett doing such a good job right now, adding on 8 more drones, and economically, she is a powerhouse in this series. The question is going to be, can Namshar's Lurkers get enough damage done? Scarlett's got to find the right angle to engage here.
Yeah, I mean, it's very much... I believe what Namshar's going to be looking for here, and really it could end up even being his Hail Mary, is if he can snipe these Overseers. It's going to be so difficult. He is just down in supply. Now, he does have an upgrade advantage, and of course he has the Lurkers, which provide a huge amount of damage when in range. Scarlett's doing a great job of dancing around right now. You can see she is going to... Oh, very nice control from Namshar. She is going to try and drop some Biles here on top of the Ravagers, but it's still looking a little scary here for Namshar.
Yeah, Namshar's actually not doing a great job. He's missed a few corrosive Biles on those Overseers, and that's so clutch because, of course, there's nothing that fires upward aside from those Hydralisks, and the Hydralisk can't get zoned in quite close enough to the Overseer to drive him back here. So Scarlett taking a fairly decent fight, and Namshar making some critical mistakes there. Look at that, unburrowing
Is there any Ravagers?
but not moving it back here.
There's only 2 Ravagers left. There's only 1 Ravager left. There's 2 Ravagers left. Why am I saying Ravagers? I mean Lurkers. Yeah, of course. Sorry, it's getting late,
There's
guys.
2 Ravagers left now for Namshar. That's also true. But Scarlett getting a really nice trade here. I think both short and long term, she's going to be in good shape despite Namshar having a huge upgrade advantage. Look at that. He's already working on his +2 Carapace. Scarlett pushing it at a beautiful angle there, and Namshar just missing a few clutch Biles. Scarlett doing such a good job with that engagement. It's allowed Namshar to get his 4th base up, but again, Scarlett is not on 4 bases. She's on 5, ladies and gentlemen, so she can trade inefficiently all day long.
Yeah, in terms of income, she's mining an extra, it looks like 8, maybe. Oh, no. Please, no. Oh, okay.
Oh, it's not us, thank God.
Oh my gosh.
So for those of you who don't know, as casters, when the game stops and someone is lagged out, your heart stops immediately with the hope that it's not you. According to the DreamHack rules, if you lag out of a game, you are required by the rules of DreamHack to leave the game. And as a caster, of course, it's tough to cast when you leave. So luckily, Sub-Zero, I believe one of our Russian casters, back in, and now Scarlett's going to continue this attack, Grant.
I've never been so scared in my entire life. Especially because I couldn't hear you for a moment either. So we were both in silence. Is it us? Is it us? Is it us? We should immediately be like, not me. But no, we are okay. We did it. It's Emil's fault.
Dang it, Emil. Well, look at this. Namshar's already grabbing Seismic Spines for additional lurker damage here. And I feel like Scarlett's timing window is getting narrower, and not only narrower, but less effective, because +2 Carapace is now finished for Namshar, which means these fights are going to swing even more in his favor. Only 3 lurkers on the ground? That's fine. There are 5 lurkers, pardon me, on the ground. That's just fine. They're in a great concave, and Scarlett continues to push in the same location. I'd love to see her swing around south and try something a little bit different. She's getting +1 flyer attack, though, Grant. Is she going to finally utilize this Spire that she's had for the whole game?
Look at her bank. She's just trying to trade effectively, and then she's going to go for a massive, massive tech switch. All she's trying to do right now, I believe, is keep the Hydralist count low. And try and force out more lurkers and things like that, so she can then go for a tech switch. She's doing a really good job of being cost efficient, and as we've said many, many times, she is up on bases. Namshar is trying to take another base here up to this north position. Trying being the key word, because it's about to get bamboozled here and forced to cancel. Is he going to cancel? Dead.
God, Scarlett is so good. Not only is she sneaking a little guerrilla force of roaches up to the north side, but she's also forcing Namshar to engage outside of his lurkers consistently, drawing him back up onto the high ground and making him take this fight away from his most powerful units, the keystone units in his build. Is such a power move from Scarlett, right? Saying, you know what, if you want to engage me so badly, if you want to negate my threat, you're going to have to do it on my terms, outside of where you feel comfortable doing it. And that's allowing her to still get efficient trades. And she's still building roaches here, Grant. She's like, you know what, I can transition anytime I want. Yes. Look at this bank. Look at this money. She's going into the roach strip club and just throwing 100 roach bills everywhere. And it has. She's getting dangerously close. Again, Grant. She's now 1,300 minerals away from Monocle territory.
Yeah, she's getting very, very close. We can see here, 3-3 has started on getting pretty close to completion here for Namshar. His upgrades are going to be phenomenal, and if the Hydra count is high, no matter how many mutants come out, Hydras can fight very, very well. It is... there we go. The first mutant's coming in, +2 weapons coming in. Scarlett's looking to trade out her army. She really, of course, she's maxed, she can't make mutants. So she's trying to be cost efficient with it. Of course, she doesn't want to just A move or even move command the army, lose it all and just get counter pushed and get shoved in and die. But for now, the mutas, they'll probably sit. Oh, she's going to have to use them to defend actually.
Yeah, that's not ever where she wants to be. Some lurkers popping back from Namshar here. This is a little surprising here. 14 drones have gone down for Scarlett. I'm not sure if she's trading away, but 20 mutas on the way. And the question is going to be, what does Namshar have against 20 mutas? What does his Hydralist count look like right now? It's only 16, Grant, and that's not enough. She sees the muted here, and Namshar's not tapping out immediately, which means he's confident that he can actually defend against this. Look at this pressure, though, from Namshar. Scarlett cut out of position. Yeah, there's still so much on the ground for Scarlett. So you see there and you think, oh, 20 mutalists. But she still also has a huge ground army. Now the mutas are forced to fight these Hydras, and Hydras with +3, which they do have, trade very, very well against these 0 Carapace upgrade mutalists. The mutalists are all going down. Look at the supply. It's huge. Oh my God, Scarlett had such an opportunity for a transition there and just couldn't make it work. Namshar turning the tables, and he is going to draw us in to a game number 3, Grant.
What the hell went on? She was so ahead. She had such bank. I know Namshar's upgrades were incredible, but the muta switch just didn't work. You can't send 0 Carapace mutas into +3 Hydra because they apparently met. Well, there's a big power spike, of course, that happens right when it's the same thing that happens anytime a Protoss player goes carriers. When you're doing a huge tech transition like that, there's going to be about a minute time when even though Zerg players are very quick to reinforce and to change their techs, there's still going to be some time where you're at a very weak point. And unfortunately, Namshar moved across the map with those lurkers just at the right time, just threw Scarlett off balance, and managed to hit when she was just at a weak moment in her build. I don't know if it was a great read by Namshar, but it was certainly a great timing attack by Namshar. And Scarlett paid the price there, trying to be really cute, but she had such a delicate game to play with that tech switch. I mean, behind in upgrades, behind in tech, and trying to go for something crazy just didn't quite pay off for her. What a great game. Crazy to think that game started off with a 12-ball drone pull. Scarlett had 3 mining workers for a lot of that game. Of course, she ended up losing off the back of that. But yes, that game was a 12 pool that then transitioned into a 20-minute game. So very, very well played of her to even get that far after that failed all-in attempt. It's hard to say it failed. It killed a lot. It was a very messy early game. And yeah, very interesting to see. We will now, of course, be moving into map 3 on Eternal Empire. Is this the right map? Yes, it is. And I don't think we'll see Scarlett go for any cheese once again. Namshar has just taken a 1-minute break. Clayton, if you're the coach for each of these players, what is it you say to both?
Yeah, I think for Scarlett, you've got to do that classic coach thing where you say, hey, remember that last game? Don't. Forget it. Never happened. Come back game 3 fresh and ready and play the StarCraft that you know you can win, right? Scarlett can play that mid game better than almost anybody. She can get those timings nailed. Her micro is impeccable. And I think if she focuses on her strength this game, she's a clear favorite to win this one, Grant. As far as Namshar goes, he's a little trickier, right? He won that game based off of really solid macro, but let's be honest, he had a leg up for most of the game there, trying to fight against Scarlett's crazy early build. So I'd say Namshar, keep your head on a swivel. Stay alert if she tries anything. Pardon me. Stay alert if she tries anything crazy, but be ready to play another big long game and try and outplay Scarlett at the end to late game. That's, I think, both players just stick to your guns and do what you do best, rather than the wild west sort of strategies we had last game.
Yeah, I think I'm in agreement with you here that if the game goes really long at an even place, Namshar seems to be the sharper player right now. He seems to be the one that's handling himself a little bit better, and he just seems a little bit crisper in his gameplay to me than what Scarlett seemed in that last game. Like, she lost so many drones to a lurker run by that she maybe could have saved. There was a lot of damage. The tech switch, although I liked the idea behind it, it was... I mean, she would have seen that Namshar had 3-3, and going into very just +1 attack muters. There were a lot of Hydras. She hadn't traded out against Hydras. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Scarlett be the aggressor. Her Ling Bane control seemed better, I would say. So maybe we see something along that period of the game. But if we go to Roach, Ravager, and onwards, I like Namshar.
Wow, bold. Well, I'll take Scarlett, you take Namshar, and the loser has to buy the winner a beer.
Done. In the top right, he is the blue Zerg player from Sweden, living in Canada, representing, well, we can't say it, but you can see it. It's Namshar.
And in the bottom left-hand side in the red, representing Canada and Brave Star Gaming, it is our Zerg player, Scarlett.
No 12 pulls this game, Creighton. Both players like they will maybe opt for hatch first. Of course, we can't be certain just yet, but no very early pulls. So the game going to go pretty standard here on Eternal Empire. It is a difficult map to go very, very aggressive on. It's so wide and so long, and no one make any inappropriate jokes there. So yeah, just hatch first for both of these players.
Wouldn't dream of it, Grant. Not at all. Hatch first is a good sign, I think. This is very similar to what we saw in game number 1, which is a very conservative opener for both players, and a very mirrored sort of opener for both players as well, right? Where both players had exactly the same build all the way through their Baneling Nest before things finally diverged. We're going to see the hatch, the gas, and the pool all going down. The thing we're going to have to keep your eye on, guys, in any ZVZ, at least for the very beginning of the game, is how many drones go on gas and how long do they stay there after they get the 100 gas for Ling speed. So if you're new to watching ZVZ, that's one thing to always keep your eye on. How many drones are still in gas? And that's going to give you an indication of how quickly that player wants to move on to their next tech. If they leave all 3 drones in gas, expect some Banelings right away. If they pull all 3 drones out of gas, expect a 3rd base right away. I know if you watch a lot of StarCraft, you know that, but we always have to remember that there are a lot of people watching that maybe haven't been keeping up with StarCraft as much as possible. So as those gases do finish up, keep your eyes on the gas income, and we should see some queens and Ling speed popping out very soon here, Grant.
Yeah, and I just want to say thank you for everyone joining us tonight. Over 1,000 people here on the B stream, especially for me. You know, it's already 10:30 p.m. and getting later. So any Europeans, thank you, and any Americans joining us earlier in the day, thank you. Howdy, y'all. All of that American stuff. We really appreciate you being here with us. It really does mean a lot for 2 people who care so much about this game. to have so many of you come and join us on this little journey here. It's a real honor, and yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. So there's the third hatch down for Scarlett, and Namshar gonna follow in kind as well. So just like game number 1, both players gonna get that third hatch down quite soon. Scarlett spots Namshar's, and Namshar should be moving an Overlord there on top of Scarlett's as well. Baneling speed down for, or Baneling nest rather, down for Namshar. No Baneling nest yet for Scarlett. This is again exactly what we saw in game 1. Scarlett a bit earlier there on the third base, and a bit behind on the Baneling nest, but honestly, Scarlett should be getting that Baneling nest on very soon, Grant. Is she a little bit late right now?
She may be looking to skip the Baneling stage of the game and go straight into Roaches. It's hard to know exactly. She has still kept free in gas. Her gas count is quite high. I wouldn't be surprised. Here we do see an Evo chamber coming to complete the wall here for Namshar. She may also just go for a bit of a later Baneling nest and produce a few more units or something. First, a few more drones. We can see she is up in drones right now. But the later it gets, I think the more unlikely it is that we are going to see a Baneling nest from Scarlett. And she may just hop straight into Roaches and try to overpower her opponent that way.
Yeah, she better hustle though. Baneling's already on the way here for Namshar, and if he realizes that there's not but a spawning pool in Scarlett's base, he may realize that he's got a really good timing here, and could move out and cause some real consternation. We see 10 drones popping out for Namshar, but I don't know if that's really what he wanted to do. +1, yeah, he cancels that +1 missile attack, and I think we're going to see a fair amount of links coming out quite quickly here from Namshar. Going up to Lair Tech though, what the hell is going on in this game, Grant?
I think he's just going to skip the Baneling stage. Be happy that he has the nest, but he's going to go up to Lair as well and throw down a Roach Warren. Just knowing that he doesn't have to deal with Ling Bane means he'll keep a couple around for defense, but he wants to go straight up to Roaches and meet her bang in the middle. We can see economy-wise, we're still very, very even. Sure, Scarlett's Baneling nest is going to be a bit quick. Roach Warren is going to be a little bit quicker, but by the time they get across the map, it really doesn't mean too much. And it looks like Namshar, yeah, he just wants to take it long. He doesn't want to take the risk, you know?
And that makes sense, you know, as we said, he looked really solid in the long game against Scarlett there in game 2, was able to read her tech choices and adjust accordingly, so very well done by him. And, oh, pardon me, again, has that, he's restarted his +1 missile attack, and yeah, oh my god, Scarlett's going for a 94, Grant, never mind.
Yeah, okay, so now Scarlett is going full Scarlett. She's going to be able to reinforce very, very quickly. This shouldn't go down in the main or anything. Of course, there is no vision. We'll probably see it come down in this area, just outside of the third base. That is where Scarlett's Overlords are. And as I said, the defensive Banelings from Namshar are going to be nice here. Scarlett probably wants to try and clear out as much of this area, or at least this area as possible, as I'm showing on the map now. So she can get an... Oh my god, he's doing it too.
When do we start the March of the Gladiators, Grant? I feel like we need to pay DreamHack to get a license. To pay DreamHack to get a license for that clown car music, because Scarlett is going to go ahead and go for it. I love it. Counter Night Eye on both sides. Let's see if Scarlett can get enough damage done before Namshar strikes back.
Yeah, Scarlett immediately throwing down a spine as well to stop any counter damage towards her third. She hasn't committed too much to this Nidus. There's nothing, in fact. She's having to use most of her units, I believe. Where is Scarlett's army right now?
She saw that pressure from Namshar coming. Yeah, Namshar was going to pressure her third, so she brought him all the way back. That did buy Namshar just a little bit of time here. Scarlett is going to have +1. Namshar's +1 finishing up right away. Speed going to finish for both players at the same time. This is going to come down to army positioning, Grant, and I got to say, I like Scarlett's opportunities here if it does come down to army positioning.
Yeah, Namshar has the better concave right now, or did for a moment. He doesn't for a second. Now he does once again. It's very, very close. Army supply's dead even. Namshar has the high ground and defender's advantage, though. As long as Namshar doesn't make any silly mistakes and use his Nidus Worm aggressively right now, he should be in a very, very good place.
Oh, look at Scarlett, though. This is so cute. Pressure on the natural now as well. That is going to draw her attention away for just a moment. Namshar's going to get some really nice pot shots off on these Roaches. Scarlett's Roach army very small, and that's going to force her to retreat here. Namshar may think he's winning, but Scarlett doesn't realize, or he doesn't realize that Scarlett actually has tiger blood like Charlie Sheen, and is in fact #winning the Roach Warren, now under duress, and these Roaches forced in through a very tiny gap.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's just not quite enough Roaches here. Yeah, it's not that Namshar was trapped outside. It's Scarlett trapped inside here with Namshar. She just threw away so many Roaches. Now Namshar has a huge supply lead. He has a Nidus Worm of his own, and I'd like to see that bad boy build get filled up right now and go, because Namshar, you just killed a lot, mate. Use Nidus. He has... So, there we go. He's going to do it in the...
In the main. He's going to do it in the main. I love this, Grant. I love it so much. He is going to have, again, an army supply advantage now. And of course, since the upgrades are completely even, that means that he's going to really have an opportunity to get some damage done. If that goes down, nice pick by Scarlett, though, snaking down that Nidus Worm. The second Nidus Worm should be able to finish up. No, Scarlett, go for it. Go for it. Go for it. Scarlett, well, no, what's taking her so much time? Okay, she's going to get there. Thank goodness.
Yeah. So Namshar instead now is going to have to run across the map, and that has given Scarlett time to get back up there in terms of supply. Namshar now going to drop his reinforcement Nidus just outside of the third base, basically mirrored from what Scarlett was doing just a moment ago. And once again, we're coming down to positioning here. Upgrades even, although Scarlett has started +2 earlier. Army supply, roach count, very important. Namshar have 5 more.
Yeah, Scarlett will have defender's advantage, +2 starting just barely ahead for Scarlett, but again, it's going to be dead even, and the first real difference in tech is now coming out. Spire down for Namshar, and that could be the big difference here in this game. Namshar has 2 different opportunities to win now. He's either going to Nidus into Scarlett's main, since he's got control of the map and pressure, or he can wait until that Spire comes out and surprise her with some Mutalisks. Scarlett, however, just has to defend right now, and I don't see an immediate path to victory for her.
Yeah, she has managed to take a supply lead once again, and now she's going to get on the offense. Namshar did lose quite a lot of roaches once again. Roach count now favouring that of Scarlett. We have more Nidus Worms coming up, of course. This guy will be bleeding pretty shortly. There we go. And now Scarlett is going to be moving in to the third base. She has a pretty good position here, but she didn't load up many roaches, instead using them to defend. She just wanted to try and harass a little bit, and she will now clean this up.
Moving around the south side of the map now is Scarlett, going to try and find some pressure at the natural, but now Namshar's back home. Namshar's Spire about to finish, but Scarlett is the one this time who's going to go for the counter Hydralisk Den. My god, this is such good chess from both of these Zerg players, Grant. They're both doing an incredible job right now. Scarlett might be overcommitting here. I was going to say she can't run all the way in there. She's made that mistake once already this game.
Yeah, the game is now evened up a little bit. Of course, that Mutalisk... The Mutalisk switch is available here for Namshar. He's not going for it just yet. He hasn't made any, instead continuing to produce roaches, ravagers, a few more overlords so he can get up to max supply here, and +2 on the way for both. Scarlett is going for Hydras. We saw the Hydralisk player win the last game. Yeah, I had to really think about that then. Choosing to go for that instead, and Scarlett in a good position. She's now taking her 4th base. She's, it's not the best position, but she's certainly doing well.
Yeah, she's all right. A little ahead on drones, a little behind on bases. A little ahead on upgrades, a little behind on army supply. Like, this game still could go in anybody's favor, and as it always comes down to with these big Zerg versus Zerg armies, it's going to come down to positioning more than anything else in the world. So Scarlett is getting her Lurker Den, the Infestation Pit coming down now, and I love that she's staying active with these Nidus Worms. The Nidus Worm is a great investment. Nice cancel, by the way, on that 4th base by Namshar. That was a, cancel, not a kill. But Namshar, again, putting pressure on, but Scarlett might be able to sneak some roaches out into that Nidus Worm and put some pressure now on the 3rd and 4th of Namshar.
Yeah, Scarlett is now in a little bit of a vulnerable spot. There we go. She gets her first Lurkers. Namshar can no longer push up this ramp. Lurkers are just too deadly against Roach Ravager. We do have a bit of a counterattack. A few Roaches here from Scarlett, managing to pick up a Queen. And now she's going to reinforce this push. And this is forcing Namshar all the way home. Namshar's going to lose a few drones here. Scarlett finding some great moves with just 4 or 5 Roaches here. And with the Nidus coming as well, this is a big, big threat for Namshar. Can't underreact to. We can see she just killed 9 drones. Very, very nice victory there from Scarlett. This will allow her to re-establish that 4th base, maybe even move across and punish the 4th base of Namshar. Scarlett's Hydra count already sitting only 4. Okay, but she does have 4 Lurkers, and the ground fight should be very, very handily taken here by Scarlett.
Yeah, again, we see Namshar with that upgrade advantage, working on his +2 Carapace now. Scarlett just finishing up +1 Carapace. She's going to snag this 4th base, but as you said, the Lurker's going to add so much damage that I don't think it'll matter an awful lot here. Nice Corrosive Biles there, but great dodges by Scarlett. Man, even without the Adaptive Talons, those Lurkers can get up and get down so fast. Yeah. Scarlett's clearly been training them how to dance. It's beautiful. And here we go. Scarlett's going to go ahead and push in, going to use the aggression from her Roach Ball to allow the Lurkers a better position than they would normally get. And the last Corrosive Biles might be able to rain down on that 3rd hatchery. If Namshar loses his 3rd hatchery, Grant, he's going to be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, Scarlett taking the fight right now. She's taking it very aggressively. She snipes her base, so important here. Hydras and Ravagers in the back doing a lot of damage. She will be completely cleaned up here. Both of these guys right now have their forces completely in the production tab. So neither of them really has a big standing army, and things are just going to calm down for a little bit. Scarlett content that she's just killed 2 bases. She's now up 4 bases to 2, and things looking pretty good.
They're looking so good, Grant. Oh my gosh, Scarlett with a deciding blow there, even though she didn't quite get that 3rd base. Just beautiful, just beautiful. Hive Tech about to finish up here for Scarlett. And Grant, if she moves into a Hive Tech, what would you recommend? Broodlords or Ultralisks, or stay on what she's on and just get those adrenal glands and add on some lings maybe?
I would say just going into Lurker upgrades and improving her range upgrades, going up to +3 would be very nice. I think getting things like adaptive talons and all of that would be super nice for her. Right now she does have a pretty big lead. She's going to be able to snipe this base again, Creighton. Namshar's just not able to re-establish it, and what that means is economically Scarlett's going to be in such a phenomenal position, and she can afford to trade. She's going to snipe the Nidus as well to stop any counter pressure. Scarlett is inside Namshar's base. Namshar is no longer. He's had to retreat. The Roach Warren under duress, the Baneling Nest, +2 armor will just about complete here. There is some aggression at the other side of the map. Namshar did have some burrowed roaches that were able to get a little bit of damage done, but it's nowhere near the damage right now that Scarlett has found, and Scarlett looks like she's punching her ticket to a 2-1 win.
Yeah, she's got to get these roaches back home, though. If she loses her own Nidus exit, she's going to be in a lot of trouble, and Namshar's got her locked down for a little while longer. So Namshar did some pretty decent economic damage on the back of this, but as you said, Scarlett just really getting the better of that fight. Namshar now chasing Scarlett away. She sent about half of her army back home, but we can see in the middle of the map there, Scarlett getting driven back home. And of course, if you're the retreating army in a Zerg versus Zerg, Roach versus Roach war, that does mean that the army chasing you has a significant advantage, because roaches can't really stop to fight quite the way other things can. Are those roaches going to run right into those corrosive vials from Namshar running right into the line of fire there. Scarlett getting a bit of a lucky trade. Not a huge difference, but still a bit comical. Man, Scarlett is going to be 1 full upgrade behind Namshar here, and 2 full upgrades soon, as Namshar's +3 missile attack already on the way. Or already almost done, rather.
Yeah, so Scarlett needs a little bit of time just to get her upgrade sorted. But again, I mean, look at the worker counts. Both of them so low. 41 and Namshar only with 29 right now. Scarlett is going to make a big round of drones. Namshar is trying to add on a few lurkers of his own, so he can meet in the middle and fight effectively. Lurker counts right now, there's actually 0 for both, but Scarlett is producing 2, and she's producing Vipers too, and that's going to mean she can yoink those lurkers out of their burrowed hidey hole and take some very nice fights.
Yeah, Vipers are so valuable in the Lurker versus Lurker war, and I'm honestly a bit surprised to see that Namshar isn't going for them. But the problem is that Namshar's economy is in the absolute dump right now. Yeah. I mean, look at that income advantage for Scarlett. Huge right now. In fact, Scarlett's been ahead economically almost the entire game, with these little tiny spikes in Namshar's favor, but Namshar barely rebuilding a 3rd base, barely rebuilding a 4th base. But Scarlett's been on 4 bases for so long, and it's going to take a huge blow, and that might be it. Those burrowed roaches might be able to swing this victory for Namshar. Man, this is a great game, Grant.
Yeah, Seismic Spines is finishing up here for Scarlett, making her very effective now with these lurkers, but her lurker count is still quite low. We're looking at 2 to 4 of Namshar. Of course, she has the... she's adding on the static defense wall. I love this. This is just to stop any more run-bys, any more silly attempts here from Namshar. Namshar has been using burrowed roaches as the core of his damage for a while. And once again... Okay, no, it's just Nodus here. But Scarlett now putting a stop to that. Namshar adding on Vipers of his own. This game is very close still. Even though Scarlett has a supply lead, Namshar's managing to eke out just enough drones and just enough units where he shouldn't be that vulnerable to this push.
I love that. Namshar's Overseer gets into Scarlett's main base and sees Vipers charging up and goes, oh, right, Vipers, those are a thing. I should probably get those. And immediately 4 Vipers start, which means that Namshar actually going to have the Viper advantage against Scarlett here. These burrowed roaches causing a bit of consternation on Scarlett's natural base, but they are going to keep pushing into the natural here. But Scarlett seems undeterred. She's going to push right across the map here and try and set up an aggressive position at the 4th base right now. Roaches moving into the 3rd base. That's just to distract the army here. Some blinding clouds going down. Scarlett's going to push in, forcing Namshar back up the ramp. Namshar has a lurker advantage, 8-6, and he also has a Viper advantage, 4-2, but Scarlett still has an overall army advantage. Namshar, however, finally in the natural and the main of Scarlett, tearing apart her infrastructure.
Yeah, both players losing a lot here. It does look like Scarlett's going to be able to stabilize relatively quickly. She's now going to be able to take out all of these roaches here of Namshar. She has a great concave, and she also managed to snipe that very important 4th base. The thing right now for Namshar is that he has lost how many Hatcheries this game. 4. Scarlett hasn't lost 1.
Yeah, and Scarlett's got her 5th base just put down now at that bottom 6 o'clock position. So in addition to that 5th base going down, Scarlett's adding on 5 Vipers. And Grant, I'm going to say something that you rarely hear me say in a ZVZ. I think that might be too many Vipers. She's already got, what, 2 on the map, so she's going to have a total of 7 Vipers. I think that'll be the most Vipers I've ever seen in a proper competitive ZVZ game before, not like a Fun Day Monday or something. It's a lot of Vipers. Granted, Blinding Clouds and Yoinks are really, really great, but they do eat up a lot of supply for units that don't do any direct damage. And right now, her army, even though it's ahead at 40 in army supply, her roach count looks pretty good, but the rest of the army fairly even here. More Hydras out for Namshar, and more, I was going to say more Lurkers, but then as soon as it happened, the Lurker count evened up, so never mind. But Scarlett with 7 Vipers, that's just an extraordinarily high number of Vipers.
Yeah, I mean, Blinding Cloud is the counter to everything Namshar has right now. So I don't hate it. It forces a lot of micro, and in a matchup like this, where this game has been heading, it's going to be very, very positional. We can see now Scarlett looking to get some burrowed roaches of her own. She still has a Nidus Worm, my friend. Don't forget about it, because she's going to drop that down in the main and look for more damage here. It looks like she's finding some pretty good positions across the map here. She has a lot of her army split up. The Nidus Worm is finishing in the main. She doesn't have anything in it, though.
She doesn't, but she definitely should load something in there. If she can start sniping some tech, or even if she can get crazy that high tech. Look at those yoinks and the counter yoinks going down. Vipers from Namshar getting absolutely destructinated. But look at that parasitic bomb on the Vipers. Scarlett not splitting at all. That's a huge mistake from Scarlett. Look at how low all those Vipers are now. She's not going to be able to engage in that fight with them. That means no matter how good her Viper count is, it's not going to be helpful. But luckily, she's able to destroy the army of Namshar on the back of this, and now she has a huge army supply advantage against Namshar. That was still a great fight for Scarlett, even though the parasitic bomb was a huge mistake.
What's this army doing?
Just chilling.
Scarlett's been fighting with half of her army for a good couple of minutes, and she's winning the fight. Finally, the Delta Squadron are brought in. The Yoinks now onto the